Today we're going to do a 2024 election night prediction between a Republican and a Democrat. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. Starting from 7 p.m. poll closings. Those states include Indiana, which I do believe will be safe Republican. Kentucky, I do believe that state will be safe Republican as well. South Carolina, I think the margin will be nearer a likely Republican state. Going to the state of Vermont, safe Democrat. Going to Virginia, safe likely Democrat. And finally, in the state of Georgia, we're going to touch on it later on. Going to the 7:30 p.m. poll closings, West Virginia is very safe for the Republicans. However, for the states of North Carolina and Ohio, I'm going to label those as toss-ups. Actually, I'll label Ohio as a likely Republican state, just because I think Republicans overall have a very strong grip on the state, regardless if Donald Trump will run for re-election. Going to the entire 8 p.m. poll closings, we have a whole bunch of states. Florida is considered a toss-up state. Going to Alabama, it is safe Republican. Tennessee is safe Republican. Mississippi is safe Republican. Missouri, I'm not so sure. I think it was safe because of Biden's unpopularity. For the state of Oklahoma, that state is also safe in the Republican column. If we look at the state of Maryland, that state is safe blue for the Democratic Party. DC is safe blue. I believe Delaware is likely for the Democrats. I'm not sure who they're going to run, but regardless, it's going to be likely. New Jersey, I think that state will be likely. Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, those states will be safe. In the state of New Hampshire, I will label that state as a toss-up. Going to Maine 2nd District, that district is likely Republican. Maine's 1st is safe Democrat, and Maine's at large is likely Democrat. Illinois is safe for the Democratic Party as well. Now we go to the next poll closings, which is 8:30. 8:30, only Arkansas is closing their polls, and I do believe the Republicans will win by a safe margin. Going to the next poll closings, I think Louisiana will be safe for the Republican Party. Texas, I'll label as a toss-up. Actually, I'll label it as likely Republican. I think that the margin will narrow down a little bit, but not enough to say that the margin will necessarily go down under 5%. By the way, my margins are safe is 50 points above, likely is 5 to 50 points, lean is 2 to 5 points, and chill is under 2 percentage points. So yes, now I'm going to label it as likely because Trump did win the state by 6 points, and yes, I do believe the margin will narrow down, but not enough, so I say it will be a lean state because of Biden's unpopularity. Again, his approval rating is pretty low, so yeah. The states of New Mexico and Colorado, those two states are likely for the Democratic Party. Arizona, I'll label as a toss-up, not really surprising there. Going to the red wall states, Kansas, I do believe likely because, again, the excerpts of the state of Kansas, Johnson County, for example, Shawnee County, those areas are trending blue very rapidly. Even the area which is in, that area is trending rapidly to the left. Going back to this map, go to the state of Nebraska. The 3rd district is safe. Nebraska's 1st is now district, so the district will be likely. Nebraska's at large will be safe. Nebraska's 2nd will be a toss-up district. Wyoming is safe for the Republicans. The Dakotas are safe for the Republicans as well, of course. For the Rust Belt, these states will be considered toss-ups. Oh, I forgot Pennsylvania in the previous poll closing, but in the state of New York, that is safe for the Democrats. Going to the next poll closings, I believe will be 10 p.m. The states of Montana will close its polls. That state will be, I believe, likely Republican because of its blue trending, basically because it's trending blue. Iowa, I think it will be likely Republican as well. For the state of Utah, that will be like safe Republican. Nevada, I'll label as a toss-up. Going to the Idaho race, that will be safe. The West Coast, I think Oregon will be likely though, because Biden only barely won the state by over a safe margin, so I do believe that the margin will narrow down, not by a huge margin. I think that it will be basically around 15 points as well. California is safe for the Democrats, and the state of Hawaii. Alaska will be likely Republican, just like it was in 2020. Now we have the true toss-up states. I'm not going to say toss-up, but true competitive states. Those include Nevada, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Nebraska 2nd, and New Hampshire. Now, starting with the state of Nevada. The state of Nevada, I'd say, is relatively close. However, Biden does have the appeal in Nevada, as well as Kamala Harris. Not really large appeal, but Biden did end up winning the state. However, the red trends of the state is pretty much shifting the state to the right side. A little bit iffy about the state. I do believe, though, the state of Nevada will go tilt blue yet again. Going to the state of Arizona. The state of Arizona, I believe that the trends are in favor of the Democrats, but I do believe the state again is trending towards the right. So again, not trending to the right, but the environment is going to be to the Republicans. So I do believe the state will be tilted for the Republicans. Going to the state of Florida, the state is actually pretty tough. I'll actually label it as likely Republican, because I do think that there's a good chance that Ron DeSantis is either the VP or the presidential candidate. In either case, the Democrats will end up winning, will have really no chance. At the state of Florida, yes, Ron DeSantis' approval rating has dropped significantly. However, the Democrats really, are doing very well across the state. Especially Ron DeSantis' approval rating seems to have, fluctuate every 3 months. COVID-19 seems to hit Florida every 3 months or so. So by the election, I do believe he'll be fine. Unless there's some kind of a huge wave in cases in Florida just close to the election. That will be, again, brought up a lot by the Democratic campaign, but I don't think that would play too large of an impact in the entire state. Going to the state of Georgia, the state of Georgia is pretty close. The black areas, a lot of these areas, I guess the minority areas are trending towards the left, especially from the Cobb area. However, some of these rural areas are still relatively trending to the right, and most importantly, it's just whether or not the Democrats could get turnout in the Atlanta area, whether or not voter suppression would work. So, I do believe the state of Georgia right now is pretty much very, very close. I'd still put it as tilt blue. Going to the state of North Carolina, I think it's not that surprising it's in the lean Republican column, because, again, I do believe, again, the Republicans have a good chance at winning, I think the Republicans have a good chance at winning a lot of these counties down here. For example, Anson County. These black areas are trending rapidly towards the right. Alright, however, now, Democrats do have hope. In the Charlotte suburbs, down here, the Republicans are going to have some trouble winning in some of these areas, and these areas are voting towards the left. Raleigh County, that county is also voting to the left. Guilford and Forsyth are voting to the left. However, this rural black areas is voting to the right, and some of these rural areas as well, not really Macomb County. However, taking all of these things into consideration, though, Republicans will still win the state. Going to Nebraska's 2nd Congressional District. The district, I do believe, is tilted in the Republican column. Because of gerrymandering, basically redistricting, and gerrymandering. I won't necessarily call it gerrymandering because the district does not look terrible, but you should really group the same area in the same district. That is my point here. Going to the state of Minnesota, I do believe the Democrats will win in the state of Minnesota. I think the margin will not be over 5 points, but it won't go under 3 points as well. I think it should be around the 3-point margin, maybe, in the Minnesota-St. Paul areas. I'd say closer to tilt than likely, but again, I do believe Democrats have a good. Really, Republicans will be dumb to contest the state. Now going to the Rust Belt. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I'm not sure if, first of all, Wisconsin's going red. I think Pennsylvania's going red. Michigan, I'm not so sure, but again, actually, I'll just go with New Hampshire first. New Hampshire, the state of New Hampshire is still in the lean blue column. Democrats are very likely going to win the state. It is a very elastic state. Although it did vote for Jean Shaheen by 17 points and Chris Sununu by 35 points on the same ballot. So, yeah. Now, Wisconsin, I made up my mind. I'll go with tilt because my margins are over 2%. I don't believe the margin will be too much better than 4 years ago for the Republicans. Because Trump, in the end, even with his amazing appeal, he was only able to win the state by 0.7%. So I don't believe the margin will go over 5 points. Michigan, I'm going to put that as tilt Republican. I do believe Republicans will end up winning the state. Because, well, I think that the trend would be pretty unfavorable to Democrats. So after I characterize Michigan, it's pretty clear I'm going to give the Republicans Pennsylvania as well, giving them the 19 electoral votes in the state of Pennsylvania. So this is my final projection. In this electoral map, 291 for the Republicans and 247 for the Democrats. Thanks for watching today's video. Drop a like, drop a subscription, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!